So again, welcome to the Marshall Grange. We have new faces. We have faces who've been here before. I don't want to call them old faces. Familiar, that's the word. Thank you. So welcome everyone. As you know, by now we have a change of plans, but we have this wonderful speaker, Miss Jessie Anderson, who I've had the privilege of working with for the Arts and Nature Fair and Friends of the Nature area at Georgetown. So if you don't know about those things, you can find out about them, and if you know some about it, you can find out some more. So thank you, Jessie. Take it away.
Well, thank you for having me. So, like Kim said, I am Jessie Anderson. I have been on the Divide for a little over 11 years now, and I have 3 children. I have a 16-year-old, a 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old. Yeah. This is the Divide's 14th annual Arts and Nature Festival. So it's been around for 14 years. Susan Winnington, Ray Mignon, and John Daniels were the first people that created Arts and Nature Fest. And when it began, the whole foundation of creating Arts and Nature Festival was to bring people in for the nature area. And when they did this feeds off of Friends of Arts and FONA, Friends of Arts and Nature, which comes off of Arts and Nature Festival. And they wanted to help raise money to keep putting money into the nature area. So every year, they would come the Divide would come out to the Nature Festival and get together. This happens in April, around Earth Day. And we always do this the day before Earth Day. And the reason why we do this is so we can host our own Earth Day up on the Divide. It's real important to do something for Earth Day. Each year as we get together for Arts and Nature Fest, not only are we holding something up on the top for Earth Day, but we're doing things for children as well to let them connect with nature, letting them put devices down. It's okay to come out, touch the tree, touch the ground, pick up a leaf, pick up a bug. It's okay, it's not going to hurt you. We have many booths out there to let families know what's around in the Divide and off of the Divide as well. So it's each year it's growing, and we are another small but big organization on the Divide that continues to grow. And every year we're always happy to get new faces in to help us. This year we have many more things coming, and some of those topics that are coming to us is a story trail. And the story trail we had last year, it was real fun. The story trail starts at the top of one of our main entrances, and when you come into the entrance, you're gonna start off with one of the stories. And these stories aren't a story that you're gonna find in a book. Some of these stories, many of our people from the Divide have personally wrote. Some of our poets from the Divide have wrote. Others we have found and somewhat made it our own. But when you're reading the story, you will be able to stop at this story, take in what the story means. And with some of the children there, if you're coming with a family or as a group, you're going to read the story. You can either journal what the story means to you. What did you take from it? How can you move on from that story on along the trail to another story? And as you continue to read these stories, you're going on to more trails, and maybe some of these trails that you've never walked on before. And as you continue to walk on through trails, you're going to find something else. And last year and the years followed, we had mandalas. And these mandalas are something that are wonderful for all. we all carry stress. And this is something that weighs heavy on many of us. So this is an area where we can go and you can sit down and you can connect with nature. And as you start to create your mandala, and a mandala is a circle, but it doesn't have to be a circle. But the word means circle or center. It's a center. But you don't have to create a circle. So you do have a symbol. And if you're going to create the symbol, it's a meaning. And the meaning is, how do you feel at that moment? So you can create a heart. It can be something connecting to yourself. If you're going to do something that represents something, it is a circle, or again, doesn't have to be the circle. But if you're doing something to represent, this is the part of the mandala where you're going to have to explain. So if you make a bell, you're going to explain why. Why did you make the bell? A bell represents wisdom. And so as you're creating the mandala, you're releasing stress, you're releasing sadness, you're releasing weakness. And it's going into Mother Nature. And Mother Nature takes all that up and it feeds you positive energy. And you're going to walk off and you're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel great about yourself. Not only as you're there at the mandala, you're going to meet friends. And many of us don't realize in the divide that we have many friends. We have neighbors. I've never met you, but today I'm meeting many of you. And in Arts and Nature Festival, we're going to come together and I'm going to connect with many people. And there, I'm going to be able to say, would you like to go on a nature hike with me? Or would you like to go take a selfie by a tree? And even though I said we're dropping devices, we're all going to have phones, most of us. But we can still take that picture because we're making memories. And memories is something great. So those are some of the other things. We're going to have poetry. Poetry is a fun thing. Last year, it was our first time having the poetry. And Taylor brings some great people to us. And last year, she was down by the ponds. They had, I want to say, at least 8 people down there, and they were having like a poetry slam where there was many different people doing all kinds of poets, and these poets were just talking high and low and saying some. It was neat, and there were some kids getting involved, so it was a different culture. It was fun. Some of the activities for this year. Up on the top, we're going to have at the FONA booth, at the FONA table, and this is where volunteers come in to help with this activity. We're going to have some plants, flowers and some little plants, and they're going to be all on the table. And this is where, again, we're feeding this activity go down into the nature area. Again, Arts and Nature Fest is about Earth Day. And Earth Day is to keep things growing and to keep things happy, to keep our nature area happy. So how we're going to do that is we're going to dig holes down in the nature area in one area. And we're going to have that, hi, welcome. We're going to have that all prepared for the children on the divide. So they're going to pick out a plant or a flower that they like. And then they're going to walk down with the group. And they're going to plant that flower. But before they go plant that flower, they are going to paint or draw their name on a stick. And then when they go plant that flower, they're going to put their marker in the ground. Because then they're going to be able to say, hey, that's my plant. They can come water that plant anytime during the week and for the rest of the time that plant is living. So that's theirs. They did a good cause for that day. We're going to have lots of music. Drew Woodall does a fantastic job with music. And we have many children on the divide from our schools that come on. Lisa, Bond, Johanna. I know there's many more that I'm not mentioning, but they bring all of these students and they put them on the stage. And these kids just sing from their hearts, and they're very talented, and it's very fun to watch. So they're going to be up there. Then we have Michael over here, and he writes all kinds of amazing things for articles. He is one of our people in our organization that I was talking about, who wrote one of our story trails stories for us last year. And so with him and Kim and other people, it takes a small little village to keep us running. We do raise money every year, and it's very important why we raise this money. And I don't believe a lot of people understand why we raise this money. And the reason we raise this money is to keep feeding back into the program so we can always continue to have Arts and Nature Festival, so we can continue to have music on the stage, to have more activities for not just the children, but for adults as well, because adults like coming out and doing things with their families or grandkids and their own children as well. We look to FONA because FONA is friends of the nature area, and when we take money from them for Arts and Nature area, the money goes back to them. So any money that we're raising feeds back into the program for next year. So it's very helpful when we go around each year to raise money. It puts more activities into Arts and Nature Fest, and it puts more music on the stage. So that helps us each year. This year we have these really neat water bottles that are going to be out, and we have water jugs, and we did it last year, and it's nice. It's a nice thing to see. We have lemon and we have mint in the water, and fresh water is always nice to have because we don't want to be wasteful. That's what Earth Day's about. We don't want to be wasteful. So we ask people to bring their own water bottles. And we have these water jugs everywhere, and we keep refilling the water jugs, and they look beautiful, and they have nice organic lemon and some fresh grown mint leaves in there, and of course all clean and washed for everybody, and they can keep coming through and filling up their water jugs. This year you can buy one of our Arts and Nature water jugs and then keep filling that up if you don't bring one of yours, and then that money will go back into our program. We also make these really neat shirts. I should have worn one to, kind of do the catwalk for you guys all tonight, but they're really beautiful shirts, and we designed our very first one last year. It was our first time doing that, and it had a beautiful tree on it that sprouted out with leaves, and every leaf on there was a symbol from everybody on the divide that helped us raise money or donated or did something for us. So it wasn't just money, it was how they were putting their time or effort into Arts and Nature Fest. So it's not just money that we want or we're asking for your time to come out and be part of the nature area. This year, the Nature Festival is on the 21st of April. Here you go. Thank you. This is our beautiful shirt. And this is the back.
You can point out where the Marshall Grange is.
Yeah, there you go. Marshall Grange is right there.
It's $25 to get your name on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful.
It is a beautiful t-shirt. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Arts and Nature Fest is on April 21st. Earth Day is the 22nd. So this is a great day to come out. We are going to have some bags out there for kids, and this is a great way, right? Go in the nature area, pick up some trash, bring us back that bag of trash, and we will have a prize for you. There's going to be a Pokemon game, right? Who doesn't love Pokemon? But we're going to get even more creative this year, where it's just not on a screen, even though on the top, some kids do want a Pokemon hunt with your phone on devices, but since we're asking for devices to be put down, we had to get, higher up and creative. So I work at school with kindergarteners, and I'm thinking, I got an idea. So I took all of my students out to the nature area, and I took Pokemon cards, and I put them high, and then I put them low, and then my son said, no, no, no. Water cards need to go by the pond, and grass cards need to go over here, and the magic cards, oh, they have to come over here. And then they talked about metal. Where can we put metal? And they said rocks. Rocks and over, you know, here and by the gold mine. So we got real creative and we put cards everywhere. So we took all them out there, and I said, we're going to go on a Pokemon hunt, and you're going to look for these energy cards or these Poke guys. And they did. They started finding them. They started getting excited, and I had them with little clothespins hanging up. And my daughter made these really great graphics. So she's this amazing artist, and so I had them sticking out there and kind of hiding in areas. And as the kids are finding them and holding the cards, walking around, they quite yet didn't understand what's going to happen with, you know, I have like 12 cards in my hand. But by the end, when they came back to the classroom, we talked about, we added up how much energy they had. Whoever had the most energy got a popsicle. So then they started adding, oh, I got this much energy. Who had the most grass energy? So by the time it was all over, pretty much every kid got a popsicle. So I'm thinking, this is how we're doing it at Nature Fest, right? This is really fun. So then another class got into it, and they did it. And they said, oh, this is going to be fun. Let's try this. And it was an older class, and they had fun, but the cards had to go higher, and they had to go deeper, and they did it with clues. So it was fun. So we're like, okay, this is how we're going to do the Pokemon hunt, no devices. So we just get creative, we come together as teams, but we pulled some kids involved for the help. The one thing where the device is going to come in this year is we're going to go live. And I think that it's important, and this is why. I feel that if we have someone out there showing, hey, look what's happening, this is what's happening right now, and going to each booth, each activity, down in the nature area if there's drumming, or if Michael's doing a story, come out, put your devices down. Doesn't this look fun? Come join us. Put your feet in the dirt. Come touch nature. Come do yoga. Come do some mindfulness. Come make a mandala. Come paint with Kim Taylor. People will come join us. So that's where the device is going to come in, but it's going to be one person with that device. So it's going to be my son, because he's so great with going around and talking. Oh, so it's going to be on Facebook, and it's going to be Arts and Nature Facebook page, because everyone goes there and is going to see that. And we're starting to put that out to everybody. This is what's happening. Yeah, so when it's tied to that, since it's Arts and Nature Facebook, that ties to what's happening on the divide, that ties to what's really happening on the divide. And it's just going to be a fast thing, like, hey, Buzz, what's going on? How do you like in the music? And then a little fast little blurb. Hey, this is it. Hey, I want you out here, kids. Put down those devices. Put down that Xbox. Get on out here. Come join some fun. If you come see this person, maybe you'll get a ticket for this, or you can get this. We haven't quite yet decided, but I think if we can pull some more people in that way, it'd be great. So we're still putting some ideas together to get people out there. I've been to almost all Arts and Nature festivals, from when Mignon started doing them, from when Susan Whittington was doing them, and I enjoyed all of them. I really thought it was important for me to start getting involved, because nature is a big deal, and I wanted to start to encouraging more people. I noticed there was a lot of people on the divide that didn't really know about the nature area, or they would come to the Nature Fest, but they weren't quite sure what is the Nature Festival. It's just here to come listen to music, or to come play a game, or to come shop. So I thought, this is it. I want to get involved. I want to start encouraging younger people. And then once I started getting involved, that's when Buzz was involved. And I really liked it. I liked Buzz's way. I liked how he was pitching things. And I was a little involved with Susan, and really good friends with Susan Winnington. So I'm thinking, this is it. I'm going to do it. And then I got more involved. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can, be a president and do this, and with Kim's help. And then I started realizing it's even more important to stay involved, to get more young people in touch with us. I'm still learning and realizing there's not a lot of younger people understanding what nature is and how it affects us. So I'm still trying to figure out, how do we get that word out there to them. So with your help, you guys, I would like it for that information to come at me, to get that information out to younger people. And if you guys would like to have something to share at Arts and Nature Fest, please come get a booth. We would always like to have you there, or if you'd like to be a speaker, let us know. If you're a nonprofit, you don't have to pay anything. And if you do, if you're not a nonprofit, the applications for non-food is $25. For a food vendor, it's $60. We are doing a silent auction, so we are collecting items for a silent auction. That's another way if you guys would like to help donate some things to us. Or craft items. We are looking for lots of craft items this year for kids. But thank you guys for having me. Does anybody have any questions?
Do you have vendors starting to sign up?
We do have some vendors starting to sign up. We have, that put me on the spot. We have the forestry, we have Blodgett, we have the forestry here. We have, I cannot think of the animal. Rescue, yeah.
They'll all be there.
They will all be there. And they're the same people that come every year. I have asked the GPUD to come. They came last year, and I thought that was really neat for people to be able to talk to them and just ask all kinds of questions. And he was really great on answering all those questions. KFOK, they're amazing. They come every year.
We hope to broadcast live this year.
That'd be nice. That'd be great. We have is it the Global? Is that her name in town? Global Colors. I believe she's coming again this year. Chunks of Heaven.
Oh, you know what? I don't think Global Colors is. She donated, but I don't think.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I talked. So that's good information. Thank you.
How about Judy? She makes jewelry. Her name's Judy.
I have not heard from Judy, but I did. Someone did talk to Judy, but I have not heard back from Judy. Yeah, so we do have many. The library. Yeah, so we have many people coming.
They'll be there representing Ready by 5.
Yep, Ready by 5.
Some kind of an art project for the kids.
Always, and there's a new art project that we're talking about doing. We haven't figured out where we want to do that art project yet, but it's a tree with handprints. Very fun.
What's happening for music?
For music, so this year we're trying to think way out of the box this year. Instead of keeping music just always on the stage, which is still going to be on the stage, I would like to have some dancers come around, maybe some belly dancers or someone, and just kind of dance around, and maybe come grab a grandpa or a dad and start dancing with that person and rope in some other people. And same with someone playing music, a flute or something, and walking around and playing the flute or guitar setup. And what made me think of this is Buzz had this idea before, and he actually did this once, kind of like your music slam. But I would like to do it where they're in different areas or walking around playing music. And this is going to start making more traffic go into the nature area, because we've always had a problem on keeping everything up on top. We're wanting the flow to start going more down, addressing traffic down more. Not just with music flowing around and playing, that if someone can walk around with a drum and maybe pulling in a little girl or a little boy, would you like to beat on my drum? So to get people involved that way. Storytellers. I'm talking this to colleges to see with their drama club, but as well as our high school drama. If they would like to get involved and walk around, dress up, because we want people in costume, fun, mask, whatever. And when I say whatever, like whatever, like fun, whatever, walking around and telling a story. Sitting down with a group of people, can I tell you a story while you eat this delicious meal? And they can say yes or no, but why does it have to be just planted in one area? So that's kind of what we want to do this year, and just keep it going. And then, hey, let's come on down this way, and I'll tell a story if you follow me. Do the dance this way, walk my way. If I walk like an Egyptian, you walk like an Egyptian. So we want it fun and movement this year. That's our goal. I'm hoping we can get it going. But we need people to do it, and we're working on the people. So that's the key word. We're working on the people. And we're working hard on getting those people. Any more questions? Well, thank you guys.